Oh my God. I've just seen the Star Destroyer.
Oh, yeah.
7,588 pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
well, the Millennium Falcon's £630 now. I think my mate spent 500 on it that was a good few years ago.
You can get the Titanic for 590 quid. It's just ridiculous, some of the prices.
The AT-AT's like £660.
Well, that's why they had people robbing Lego trucks over in Europe, because the cost, it maintains its value better than gold. Apparently, Lego does.
That's just ridiculous, though. That ain't it? It doesn't need to be that expensive, though. It really doesn't. The amount that these bricks must cost is probably pennies, and
Oh yeah. The thing is, though, they know fools like you will buy it.
Oh yeah, no. All because of that Sonic one I bought as well. That was on sale. I was like, I had to get it.
Gentlemen, your conversation makes interesting listening.
How long have you been listening?
2, maybe 3 hours.
Oh, right, because we only started recording about 10 minutes ago.
Mine says 3 minutes 58.
Maybe to me, 3 minutes is hours.
It must be a boring life.
That's very naughty of you. Do you know what naughty boys get?
No.
Let me
I'm so confused right now.
No,
He's doing the Mr. Flibble thing.
Yeah, without. Is it Oxford? I can't remember which one he says.
What happens to naughty boys when they're naughty, Mr. Flibble? Uncle Ian flies them with his X-Vision. That's right, Mr. Flibble. Should we fly them with our X-Vision now? No.
Please.
Then what should we do, Mr. Flibble? Then what should we do, Mr. Flibble? I think we should do TGDSB. Oh, Mr. Flibble, what's that? The Geeky Dads Strike Back. And welcome to Season 2, Chapter 4 of the Geeky Dad Strike Back.
Yeah, you did it right.
Yay!
I'm just looking at games to download, and there's one called Bang on Balls.
Nice.
Kinky bastard.
It's all right. The one underneath it's called Backrooms Escape Together.
That just sounds weird. I know what you're saying, the Bang on Balls, because I'm watching Family Guy. I think it's the second Star. Oh no, it's not the second Star Wars, but it's a space one. And it's just got like a ship with a giant Peter's face, and it's 2 testicles on his face as well. Like, they look like. I'll see if I can pause it here quickly. Go back and I'll send the picture. I'll show you what I mean.
Oh yeah, does that look like Spaceballs? You know, there's somebody in mine and Chris's year who actually owns a Mr. Flibble.
They're worth quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because they're really difficult to get hold of.
Are they?
Yeah.
Mm.
Cool.
Cool. So yeah, this is a part of Chapter 4 of the Geeky Dad's Strike Back, and this week we'll be talking about Red Dwarf. However, I think we need to start with, I suppose, a bit of sad news that we've had over the past few weeks since we recorded our last episode. There's been 2 big losses to the geek community, haven't they?
I'm still here.
I'm sorry to say that we firstly we lost the amazing voice of Batman, Kevin Conroy, just 2 weeks ago, was it?
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it sure goes without saying that anybody listening to this podcast will know at least one piece of Kevin Conroy's work. I mean, he started off on Batman the Animated Series and went on to do the Arkham games, Batman Beyond or the DC AU films. I mean, he was even in the Arrowverse, Crisis on Infinite Earths. What was that about?
Yeah,
When
he
the
played
Crisis
Batman,
was
didn't he?
there.
Yeah,
he did. So he finally did get a chance to play Batman on the
live
big,
action.
on the
Yeah.
live action. I mean, I was watching a Watch Mojo video the other week. Just about all of his greatest moments, and it just reminded me just how iconic he is. I mean, I know Kevin Smith has said it, and I back up this time. So when I started reading Batman graphic novels or comics, when I had that voice in my head, he was the voice of Batman.
Yeah.
It's like the voice of Joker, though, isn't it? It's like you only think of one person as the Joker now. If you hear the voice for the voice in, and it's the same with Batman. You only hear one voice for it now, which is Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. It's just a massive shock. I mean, there's a video we saw to Rob Paulson on a Nerdist podcast called Talking Tunes, and we talking about 9/11. But what I'll do is I'll put a link on our socials for when the episode does come out, just with a clip from that saying what happened when he went down to volunteer in one of the food kitchens, to support all the emergency services workers. It's just a really touching, really quite fun story. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Kevin Conroy's friends and family. And then this Sunday just gone, we got even more news. That was a sad passing of Jason David Frank, also known as Tommy from the Power Rangers.
Yep.
I'm gutted about that one. I think I'm more gutted about that than Batman. Like, obviously, Batman's big, but I was more Power Rangers when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
That one did hit me.
Yeah, it was tragic before his time, and sad to say that he must have been a very dark place and very sad indeed, isn't it?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Found out he was only meant to be on for 14 episodes as well.
Was he?
Yeah, he was signed on for 14 episodes, but because he was so popular, he kept him on. And then he was like the longest running Power Ranger.
He is. When I think of Power Rangers, I do think of him.
But, like I said, I saw something before as well on the TikTok of Amy Jo, the Pink Ranger. Like I said, she was bawling her eyes out as well when it first happened. When she found out. But,
yeah.
Tragic. It is.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so sadly moving on. Okay, so what has everybody been binging the past week since we've last episode? Mike, start off with you.
Not really been binging anything particularly, but I have just watched that new Christmas film with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds in it.
Oh, Spirited.
Spirited. Yeah.
Yeah,
is it out?
We watched that the other day.
It's really good. It's actually really good.
It's brilliant.
Is it out?
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I was on Apple TV, so
yeah.
That's why. Don't go Apple TV.
Yeah.
So what's that about? So just for anybody listening at home, like me,
it's basically a reimagining of
Scrooge.
It's a bit of Christmas Carol,
Christmas
isn't it?
Carol, yeah.
It's like
but
it's like Scrooged, with Bill Murray in.
It is a bit like that, but it's a musical.
Yeah. We didn't realize it was a musical
I didn't
until we watched it.
It's still really funny though.
Yeah. It's Ryan Reynolds, isn't it? I'm not the biggest Will Ferrell fan, but Ryan. Yeah. To be fair, I didn't have a problem with him in this one. I enjoyed the both of them equally. So
I can't watch Christmas movies yet, though. It's something that I can't do until December. Come next Thursday, music, films, I'll watch, but I can't just do it before December.
Well, you know what they say to anybody who puts Christmas trees up in November?
What?
Santa Claus kills an elf.
Well, my neighbour, not neighbours, person around the corner's killed an elf.
Yeah, there's decorations up around ours already.
Yeah.
So.
I know, just none of my street.
They're showing off anyway now. They've got decorations up now because cost of living, they can afford to put their lights out.
The house over the road, and normally they've got like I can normally see it, and normally they put tons on there, like the animated ones and stuff. They haven't started putting them out this year, and I'm assuming they're probably not going to.
Well, there's a house that normally does it around mine. I put the picture up the other day. They've not had it on since then that I've seen it. They're like since I put that picture up. But there's another bungalow like not far from mine as well. But they've already got theirs on, and they just go as mental as ever at Christmas. And I don't think they give a crap. They've just done it. Mine go up next Wednesday night for Thursday morning for all. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, bless. Okay then. So, Chris, anything you've been binging watching the past week since we last spoke?
Not really. We watched Spirited as well, and that was cool. So we went to see Black Panther 2.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed that. That was really, really good. So yeah. And
excellent.
I haven't finished off watching The Peripheral because I've been knackered. And I've been knackered because we've been doing, amongst other things, I've still got the Dungeons and Dragons club going at Ben's high school, and we've done 4 sessions now, and it's going incredibly well. I had some feedback from the kids and the parents, and some of the feedback's amazing. I mean, this is some kids who probably about half the group, I think, and we've got 8 of them playing, and about half the group have never stuck it out or been interested in an after school club ever, and they are all loving it. So it's doing really well, and it looks so far like we've got about including maybes about 20, at least 20 more kids in the school who are interested in playing. So it's really kind of taking off to the point where the other week I had an email from a guy called Mike Shea who goes by Sly Flourish online. He does YouTube content about Dungeons and Dragons. He's got a series of Dungeons and Dragons books called The Lazy DM, and the Lazy DM's workbook, and the Lazy DM's companion, and so on. So really, really big content creator for Dungeons and Dragons. Anyway, I subscribed to his newsletter and so on for his website, and I had an email saying that they were taking applications for the Sly Flourish After School RPG grant program, and I was like, what? They're giving out 20 lots of $250 to after school clubs and so on. So I pegged it upstairs and immediately wrote out an email and, attached all the relevant information and sent it off. And then spent days and days refreshing my email inbox to the point where, I was stressing because I hadn't seen anything else. None of his YouTube videos mentioned it. The Twitter account didn't mention it or anything. So I emailed and said, I'm really sorry. I've not applied for this before. Are you emailing us back to let us know if we've got it or not? I don't know, sort of thing. Anyway, I did have a reply, and he said, yes, we're just going through the emails. So I was like, all right, okay, I feel a bit daft now, a bit pushy. But basically, not a few days ago, I had an email saying that we had in fact got the grant. So this morning, with the Black Friday deals, I've gone on to D&D Beyond, and we've now got a load of the source books. I think we've got about eight of the source books, including Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, Monster Manual, and then 5 other source books, which is a brilliant start for the club and so on.
Yeah.
And it means that all the kids have access to these books, and it's brilliant. So so it looks like it's really doing well. So I'll be keeping you guys informed about various updates and so on as we progress with that. But it's been brilliant. It's hard work. and so on. And my head's a bit mashed at the moment, trying to take it all in and trying to decide, where we're going with it and everything. But yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah, made up.
Wow, sounds amazing. Does he have a Facebook page?
The Dungeon Dragons Club doesn't have a Facebook page yet.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the high school has got their group and what have you. So Sly Flourish, I don't know if he's got a Facebook page. You can go to www.slyflourish.com though. That's his website with all the articles and stuff that he does, all the links to his store for the books that he publishes and so on. And you can search for the same on YouTube and on Twitch. I think he does stream Twitch as well. He does like a weekly like talk show sort of thing where he talks about various things and so on, all Dungeon Dragons related. So yeah, so Sly Flourish it is. Really good content creator, exceptionally generous. This isn't the first time he's done the grant, and it's brilliant. So massive shout out to him. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I've just taken a look now. He does have a Facebook page. I've just started following it from our podcast.
Fantastic, wicked. Cheers for that, dude.
No worries. We'll tag him when we put the episode out. Okay.
Cheers.
Right, Craig. What about you?
Obviously, finished God of War, so
obviously
I moved on to something else. I got that.
Was it good? Have you enjoyed it, mate?
I loved it. Absolutely. Like, I still got like other side quests and bits to do on it and stuff like that, but the main story was brilliant. I can't wait for it to carry on, like where they're gonna go from here. Because I love all the mythology and stuff like that. Like my favorite is Greek mythology, but I've really enjoyed this Norse mythology and that now. Like, and then it was like I can't remember if it was towards the end of the fourth one, really. Like, the new series it did, or it was halfway through it. It was showing like the symbols for like different religions. So like it's showing Kratos's, which is like it's kind of like a horseshoe with like the ticks at the side for like Olympus, but then it had like it had the Norse mythology side, and then it had like bits. It had like is it Horus's eye from Egypt?
Yeah, the Eye of Horus.
The Eye of Horus, that's it. It had that symbol, so like even like future ones could go into like the Egyptian mythology and stuff like that, which I'd love and stuff. So I'm really hoping that's what I mean. I'm really hoping it does like move into different things like that, even like Indian mythology and stuff like that, like Shiva and all that stuff. For stuff like that would be good. But
someone's microwaving.
I know. Look at it. Who's microwaving?
What on earth?
So completed
Has
that.
Ian gone to make his dinner?
Yeah.
I actually completed Sonic Frontiers last night as well because I got that.
Right. Okay.
And I actually enjoyed that really well, so I completed that and 100%ed it. So I'm quite happy, yeah. But I actually just started that new Wednesday show as well on Netflix, and I'm enjoying it at the minute. It's quite good.
Yeah.
So just need to
that looked really good.
Episode.
Actually, I've been meaning to watch that.
I'm halfway through it and I'm enjoying it, so I am enjoying it. The only bit that I'll criticise that I've seen for half, even though it's only halfway through the episode, is there's a bit where it's got Pudsley at the beginning and he's crying, and like you just wouldn't have seen as far as I'm aware from like the old shows and stuff like that, you just wouldn't see Pudsley crying. He was sort of the person who would take his punishment and probably get on with it or something like that. When you watch it, you'll see, you'll probably understand. Like he isn't the type of person to cry, and he was like crying. That's why I don't know if you've seen the trailer where Wednesday drops the piranhas in the water, and she says, you just can't torment my brother. I'm the only one who's allowed to do that. But like I said, the amount of torment that he gets from his sister Pudsley, like you won't think he'd cry from what happened to him, because like she like butchers him, but basically. So.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I've been enjoying it. So can't wait to finish the rest of it.
Yeah, I started watching it myself yesterday. I agree with you. It's really good. I think I'm on episode 4 at the moment.
Like I said, I'm only halfway through episode 1. So.
So thought you said he was halfway through, so I thought he was halfway through the series.
I'll say I'm halfway through episode 1, and like I said, the only bit that I was criticising at that bit is where Pudsey was crying why she used the piranhas. And like I said, but yeah, I just wouldn't have thought Pudsey would cry for something like that because it just doesn't seem something that he would do. But other than that, I'm enjoying it. So
it's honestly, it's really good. I really enjoyed it.
And I didn't realise the original Wednesday would be back in it as well. So I didn't know she was going to be in it, and she is. So
my first movie crush. I had such a crush on her when the first Addams Family came out.
So
Christina Ricci.
Yeah, it's Christina Ricci. That's in there. I would have thought they would have brought her in to play Morticia, though. I really would have thought she would have come in to play Morticia.
No. I think they chose right with Catherine.
Yeah, chose right. I do like who they picked, but I really thought they would have picked someone like for Morticia, seeing as she played Wednesday and she's all grown up now, and I thought it would have been good to do it. But,
oh no, definitely.
Yeah, I like who they picked. I do. I think they're brilliant.
What did you think of Gomez?
The thing is, though, like people complain and stuff like that, but in the original comic, he was like that, though. How he is in this series, he was kind of like that. He was kind of like quite fat, dopey looking a bit and stuff like that. But it was only till the black and white TV show come out that they made him more sophisticated and charm. Well, he always had the charm anyway, but he was more like smart looking, sophisticated and stuff like that. But I think he's all right so far. I'm liking him.
That was the only thing to me that seemed like, obviously saw the trailer and what have you. That was the only thing that was like, oh, okay, that's interesting, that's different. So, it was something I was wondering about. So, yeah.
Yeah, but that's how they all look like apparently in it. So, like from the comic. So.
Yeah, Lewis Guzman, who plays him in the show. I mean, I did see on Facebook this morning. There was somebody actually moaning saying, "Oh well, Gomez Adam doesn't look like he did in the TV show or the films." And then somebody did comments. Well, obviously you never saw the recent animated movies, or you didn't see the original TV, the original cartoons, where Lewis Guzman actually does look really quite spot on as Gomez. Whereas I think when we were kids, when the film was released, it was Raul Julia who played him. He was quite dashing, quite quite. But yeah, so I've been enjoying that. I finally finished Garth Marenghi's Terratome, and I can. If anybody's heard of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, anybody who just likes funny, comedy horror in general, I would really recommend it. It's it's 3 stories. It's about. I wanted to talk about it, but I don't want to give too much away. Just say it's about the 3 misadventures of a horror writer. But there's a lot of like Stephen King. Like one's based on The Dark Half. Loosely based on The Dark Half. One's based. I don't know what I want to say, but I think there's a lot of homages to in the first part. There's a lot of homages to Hellraiser in the first one. The middle story, I think, is by far one of the funniest. But yeah, it's really funny. Even I've been listening to the audiobook on Audible, and just the closing when they're doing reading all the copyrights and all the stuff like that. That's it. He reads it really funny, and it's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so this week we are talking about Red Dwarf, the 1988 TV show, which has still had episodes up till 2019, and the series follows low-ranking technician Dave Lister, who awakens after being in suspended animation for 3 million years to find out that he's the last living human, and alone on the mining spacecraft Red Dwarf, save for a hologram of Arnold Rimmer, Lister's deceased bunkmate, and the cat, a life form which evolved from the form of Lister's cat. They were also joined by Crichton from series 2-ish. Well, appeared in series 2, but became a regular from series 3. Who was a mechanoid who was just basically a cleaning maid. And together, service droid, smart ass. But yeah, so it's a cult, well beloved British TV comedy. So let's start off. So I know there's one like super fan with us this evening. That's Mike. So I'll let you jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you like me to talk about? I want to talk about my favourite episodes.
Red Dwarf.
Let's talk. We'll cover each of our favourite episodes later on the episode, but we'll go with just tell us about your experience of Red Dwarf, Mike.
Well, getting into it was very, very young, and like my dad was obsessed with it, but he was obsessed with British Empire as well. And I think we started watching that first, to be honest with you, even though Red Dwarf came first. And Chris Barry was just hilarious. And then obviously we knew he was on Red Dwarf as well, so we started watching that as well. And I just became instantly hooked. I think when I started watching it, though, it was probably maybe series 4 or 5 when I first started watching it, maybe later. I think it was about 4 or 5, actually. And then I became so obsessed, then I wanted to watch them all from the back, so I went out and bought them all on VHS and watched them. I now own them all on DVD twice. I own the big collection box. I own each individual DVD. The first 3 series I own again because they did a really bad edit where they tried to like bring it up, but they did it in 1997, and it was just terrible. They used some like really bad CGI, and it's hard to watch how bad it is. Like they even changed the intro and everything to this really bad CGI. It's so poor. It didn't make it look any better either. But I still had
the intro. Why?
They did, and it's so bad.
Why though? It's such a good intro. Like it doesn't. It doesn't need to be changed.
Well, instead of having the model, they did like a CGI version of Red Dwarf, and it just looks absolute crap. So yeah, it's been a long sort of like love of mine. I watch it like at least once a year. I go through all of the episodes.
When we were preparing for this episode, I started watching Red Dwarf as well. My intention was to watch it from the beginning, but I just ended up watching my favourite episodes. But when you're talking about the British Empire, I ended up, last time we were talking about this, doing this episode, and you mentioned the British Empire, Mike. I ended up watching it all on YouTube.
Oh, really?
So I watched the first. So yeah, every episode's on. So I've watched, I think, about halfway through series 2, and I just forgot how funny that show was as well.
I might have to go find that.
Yeah, it really is quite funny to watch. But yeah, I think I jumped in probably around about. I don't remember ever seeing the first 2 series. I think I watched it from about midway through series 3 onwards. The first proper series, like beginning to end, I watched was probably series 4. Because I remember watching Camille first. It was the one with the alien who can change to be like the perfect. The perfect mate for everybody.
Yeah, it was described as it wasn't. It was actually a gelf. Yeah,
she's a pleasure gelf. Yeah,
that was it. Yeah,
they don't really show many aliens in Red Dwarf. Like they tend to be gelfs or like genetically engineered life forms.
I was going to say it's all every alien that you do see it's basically all come from Earth, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Shot into space.
Yeah, I think the first time we saw proper aliens was probably like apart from the gelf. I think it was in series 6. I mean, everything else was all like created by humans anyway.
Yeah,
I never noticed that. I was just thinking that to myself the other day. I'm just thinking there was hardly any aliens until later on the series, and still you don't really see many of them now. I mean, even in the Promised Land, there were cats which were evolved from Frankenstein. So
yeah,
from Earth. So
exactly.
Oh, actually, that come from it didn't actually come from Earth, did it? It come from Titan, the cat. I think. Yeah. So, but
Jupiter's, but evolved from Earth cats. So.
Yeah, evolved from Earth cats. So
yeah. So, Craig, what about you? What was your?
Yeah. Like, I didn't actually get into it till probably I think it was about 2010 because my ex-girlfriend had them all on DVD and I watched them all. Borrowed them and watched them, but the very first episode I remember though when I was younger is watching, and it freaked me out because they made him eat the spider, the angels and demons ones, where they got the where it split Red Dwarf into good and bad. But it freaked me out when they made him eat the spider. But that's the earliest I remember it, and that's like in season 5 when I was a kid. But
he bites into the strawberry as well, and there's like loads of
maggots.
The strawberry.
But yeah, like I said, I remember it for like I said, it was about 2009, 2010-ish is where I got into it properly when I bought the DVDs and watched them. And like I said, I put it on to go to sleep on at the minute, and I just fall asleep watching it, and I wake up, start it while I'm half asleep, and then I fall back asleep while it's still playing again. So, but yeah, like I said, I just it's just one of those like it's just British comedy, like at its best, really. It is just like British comedy at the best. Like you said, it's like the old things like Only Fools and Horses. It's just silly comedy, some of it, and it just works brilliantly.
Yeah,
and
some of the lines are just epic, and like people remember the lines, like in it, like
that's what I mean.
Like when he says, "They're on blue alert," and he says, "Right, Crichton, go to red alert," and he says, "Are you sure, sir? But it does mean changing the light bulb."
The light bulb, like that.
Yeah.
Something so daft like that could just make you giggle for a while. Like, and come on, it's brought one of the best phrases, like "you smeghead." So, like, you can't complain with that. But I was saying something. I think Craig Charles actually didn't think the jokes were funny in it when he was first doing it. So it's quite surprising that as well. Like, but obviously he must have thought it was going to go somewhere, otherwise he wouldn't have done it. But I bet he's glad he is kept on with it though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Basically, just what was the big start of his mainstream career, wasn't it?
Well, during the first series, he was turning up hungover like a lot, and like if you listen to like some of the audio commentary, he goes on about like getting told off by the producers all the time for like turning up hungover, and there's like one time where he missed a plane. He was supposed to be like flying out to like and completely missed his plane. Was about 12 hours late. And he said he got an absolute bollocking.
It's probably just trying to get over doing Ghostwatch.
Yeah.
I think that was much later, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I was what was one of the fun facts, I think, from watching the documentary about the first series was they actually, like, Craig Charles smoked all the prop cigarettes.
Yeah.
So you had to hide them from him.
Yeah, they would. And there's like the episode where the hologram comes onto the ship and he says about getting the hollow whip. He eats the cigarette and takes his jacket off, like ready to like starts like pretending to punch the air. On the outtakes, if you watch that, he literally does that, and then they yell cut, and he goes, "Why the fuck did I eat that cigarette? It wasn't in the script."
It is funny. It's like I say, it's I can't put it into words really. It's just one of those where you can just enjoy watching it, like for some reason, like it just brings a smile to you. Like the characters do what I think they're meant to. Like he's brilliant in it, but you do want to smack Rimmer sometimes. Like you just want to, like I said, he's doing his job right. Like I said, he's brilliant. He's doing his job right. You just want to hit him because like how annoying he is.
Yeah.
And then you just want to bloody demolish all the cat's beauty products just to piss him off. And then, like I said, the only one that I love Lister and Crichton. They're my two favourites in it. Like I love them too, but like I said, it's just.
I think Chris Barry's absolutely brilliant in it. And that episode you're going on about where they have the good and the bad, he plays such a good part, like amazing role at being bad. It's just so funny, like the BDSM style. Like
I was gonna say, is that a Rimmer Chris thing? Yeah,
Rimmer.
Yeah, where he's dressed as BMS and that.
BDSM, you mean?
Was it BDSM? I can't remember.
BDSM.
BMS, whatever it is.
Yeah, BDSM.
Well,
and then
that just shows you're more interested in it than me.
Well,
secrets out.
There you go.
I honestly, that line where he says, and then he just goes, "And then I'm going to have you."
Oh, yeah. I didn't realise about him as well. The one plays Rimmer, Chris. It wasn't until a while after I got into it properly. For some reason, I watched the old Tomb Raider movies. He plays the butler in that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's Rimmer. I was like that when I watched it, but yeah, he plays the butler.
Oh yeah.
Well, he worked on Spitting Image originally.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. He did a lot of the voices for that.
He's,
so,
really
Chris...
he's really good at voices, to be fair. Like, if you watch
the
outtakes and stuff, he does all the other cast members really well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's absolutely brilliant at that. So, Chris, what was your first Red Dwarf experience?
I got into it quite late on as well. And it kind of threw me because I started off with the new Kachansky.
Mm.
And then when I went back and watched older ones, it was someone completely different. And it was like, oh. Whereas, and I don't know whether or not there was anything about the later Kachansky, if people weren't a fan or something like that. I mean, I don't remember.
I think because the original was not in it very much anyway. It didn't.
Yeah.
Really, it did, and plus it was so long after. It didn't really.
That wasn't a problem, was it? Yeah, that's what I thought. But I wasn't sure. I wasn't ever sure if that was a thing or not.
I mean, we were used to it anyway because, the first time you see Crichton, he's a different actor, and then
yes.
So you just kind of went along with it.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad you upgraded Crichton's suit as well because that first one just looks dreadful.
It was really bad.
with the PVC butler outfit,
like paper mache face,
and the actor played him so much more camp as well.
Yeah.
Fun fact: he was in the actor who played the original Crichton. He was in the Only Fools and Horses spin-off, Green Grass.
Oh right.
He played Elgin. Yeah, he played Elgin in it.
Well, the only reason he didn't carry on the Crichton role was because he had a play at the time when they wanted him to come back, and so Robert Llewellyn got it.
It's a good job, really. Robert Llewellyn is brilliant.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
I just love how you get excuse me, cameos of him actually in his human form throughout the series as well.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's actually him, and then looking at it, and obviously you realise it's him when he gets turned into a human.
When they find the transmogrifier,
the DNA episode. But when you just see cameos of him as well throughout it, I think it's Last Day or something like that, where Crichton has to shut down, and he's the one does the video message saying, your new android will be on its way to take over and stuff like that.
That's so funny though when they actually turn him into a human, and he's goes to Lister. Is this normal? And then he pulls out a Polaroid, and then pulls another one out, and then pulls another one out, and he goes. It's a picture of his penis, basically.
Yeah, it was.
And he goes, is it what? Having a triple Polaroid? Is that normal? What were you thinking about at the time?
He's like, no electronics should give a man a double Polaroid.
What was he looking through? He was looking through a vacuum catalogue.
Yeah, electronic catalogue, and he come across the new deluxe vacuum with Dustbuster or something action. That's what it was, and his waistband catapulted across the living room.
Yeah, it was that was actually, I think that was one of my first favourite episodes. DNA. Not so much more for the human Crichton, but more for the Vindaloo monster and the quasi tiny RoboCop Lister.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
Of course, lager, the only thing that can kill a Vindaloo.
anyone got any poppadoms?
This stuff's really good.
Brilliant episode.
Absolutely brilliant. So we'll go into our favourite episode. So I'll start off with Mike. So what is and we're just saying one episode each. So Mike, what is your favourite episode?
Oh, that's difficult, but I'm going to have to say my favourite episode is Back to Reality.
Oh, okay.
If I chose the one you wanted, I can change it.
I've got a backup. It's fine.
Well, that's the one with the Spurk within it.
Well, it'd either be that or Gunman of the Apocalypse. Either of them two.
No, just go with the original choice because I do have a solid backup. So that's...
Yeah, I love Back to Reality because it's when they first come across the what's it called? The thingy squid?
Despair squid.
Despair squid. So they come across the despair squid, and it basically makes them all think that they're in a virtual reality game, and they have been for 3 years, and they've been playing a game called Red Dwarf, and then they wake up and find out that they're not them actual people and who they really are. And it turns out Crichton's like a cop. Well, he's actually a traffic cop, but he thinks at first he thinks I'm a cop. He's just a traffic cop. Yeah. Lister's like a mogul, like oh yeah, he's like a president.
He's a mob boss, but he's been. I think he's like a president, but behind the scenes he's a mob boss, ain't he?
Yeah,
he's like a ruler sort of thing. But
he's dictator basically.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Putin.
And the cat's basically Dwayne Dibley.
Yeah.
I think that's like the first iteration when you first see Dwayne Dibley. And Rimmer is just a bum that's Lister's brother. And he's just like really poor. It's such a good episode, and the idea of this despair squid is trying to make them all feel so terrible that they kill themselves. And it's the scene at the end where they're all stood, and they're like put the gun to the. That's it. He says we can all shoot ourselves, and then one of them says, "But there's only one bullet," and Cat goes, "We've all put our heads together. The bullet will go down the line," and then it comes back to the ship again, and they've got a crossbow, like literally held to the head.
I like that in the bit in the episode. There's that one where it shows the way Lister's looking in the viewing glass to see the next people and how they look as the characters as well. Like you got Lister like pulling Kachansky. Oh, there you go. You see Kachansky. Is she the original one, or was that a different one in that one?
That's a completely different actress.
It's so funny, like when they first pull them out as well, and they're like, "Which one was Lister then?" I was. Did you get Kachansky? Was I meant to? That's the whole point of it.
You've been playing it for 6 years. And it's
3 years they've been in it, yeah.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's fun.
The technician played by the brilliant Timothy Spall from I'll Be the Same Pet.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was in the original series as well, wasn't he? He was in the first series.
Was he?
Yeah.
Who did he play in the first series?
Just one of Lister's mates, I think.
I know Arthur Weasley from the Harry Potter films played one of his mates.
That technician from that film, he's in the Harry Potter movie as well, isn't he? He plays the mouse, doesn't he, or something? The rat, is that him?
Peter Pettigrew. Yeah,
Peter Pettigrew, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. What I loved about that episode was the bit when they just killed the fascist cop, and then they jump in the car, but you don't see the scene. It jumps to them.
It sat in Starbug on the seats, bumping up and down.
So I think they're just completely improvising it.
Well, it makes me laugh. One of them says, "You've been shot," to the cat, and he looks at his arm like, "Oh yeah." He just grabs his arm to say, like,
if you watch Smeg Out, you actually see them doing that like scene, and it took them so long, sort of like they kept cocking it up, and like because they were like trying to do it together, weren't they? But they just kept cracking up.
And it was the bit with what was it? It was the bit where they all jumped out the car and he was all running around the circles, and Cat just like for the third time around just jumps out and then joins them.
Oh yeah, you can't get his seatbelt off.
Mm-hmm. So he jumps out then and just joins them all. Okay, so Chris, what was your favourite episode?
My favourite episode would be Blue, which is it's just the 41st episode overall. It's from series 7. It's the 5th episode in.
Is it Blue or Back in the Blue?
No, it's Blue.
It's called Blue,
and,
yeah.
And it's going to be immediately familiar to anybody who knows anything.
I know what you mean.
what it
is
is,
the episode it is.
Yeah. Rimmer has wandered off to be Ace Rimmer in a previous episode, and Lister is beginning to find that he's really missing his buddy, and so on, and he comes back in the end. They all the other guys, like, they're trying to work out how they can cheer Lister up and so on, and then Rimmer actually like turns up again, and so on, and they're talking about it and they're saying how they've missed each other and so on and so forth, but then it turns out that Lister's dreamt the whole thing, so Crichton tries to do some psychology and so on, and attempts various things, including a hypnosis disc, if that's right.
I think it's virtual reality, isn't it?
Well, then he then creates the Rimmer experience, which is a virtual reality ride created from Rimmer's very inaccurate journal. And from there, I think we all know what I'm talking about, because from then on, it's just crazy. So it's
funny because Series 7 was so bad, except for obviously that episode, because they took away the audience, so there was no laughter in the background. It was just completely
some of it actually changed as well for some of it though, because on the disc that I had, it did have laughter in the background.
Yeah, they added it afterwards
just
on the DVD releases. Yeah, they added it afterwards. There was no audience there. The fact that Rimmer wasn't in it for most of it, it was just such a bad series. But then they ended on an absolute cracking episode.
Oh yeah, I mean, I put the song on before for Ben, and he was like, "What's this? What's that?" Because obviously it kind of starts with off with the lead up to it. Where they're just sat there and in the little car, and Crichton's talking about what he's done and so on, and then you should have seen Ben's face when all these little Rimmers start.
I love it though, where they're going around the ship as well, opening the lockers, and Rimmer gets roasted by the flamethrower in the locker on that episode, and Lister gets all the jewellery and the money.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. It's such a brilliant episode, and
and
that every time I think about Red Dwarf, that's the thing. That's what always pops in my head. There's loads of other episodes that I really like, but that is like the defining thing that always pops in my head when somebody mentions Red Dwarf. So it's got to be that one. And the thing is, the song's only on for it's hardly on for very long, but it's brilliant.
Yeah, it sticks with you. I think it was like it wasn't a particularly poor series, but that was definitely a highlight. And I think I watched that the other week, and I was walking around the house singing "It's Arnold Rimmer."
Oh yeah.
If you're in trouble, he will save the day. He's brave and he's fearless, come what may. Without him the mission would go astray. He's Arnold Rimmer. Without him life would be much grimmer. He's handsome, trim, and no one slimmer. He will never need a Zimmer. He's Arnold Rimmer, more reliable than a garden's trimmer. He's never been mistaken for your grinner. He's not bald and his head doesn't glimmer. Master of the wit and the repartee, his command of space directives is uncanny. How come he's such a genius? Don't ask me. Arnold Rimmer, he's also a fantastic swimmer. And if you play your cards right, then he just might come around for dinner.
I said that to Ben. I sang that, but put Benzo in, and he was just there going like, "What? What are you on about, Dad? What do you mean the garden stream?" It's like, dude, you need to see this.
Yeah. So, okay. Craig, what about you? What was your favourite?
I know you said you can't give more than one, but it's not more than one really. it's just the endings from these episodes that have made them my favourite bits, sort of thing. So, you know what? Actually, I'll tell you my favourite episode, and then I'll tell you my favourite bits. Though, from my favourite episode is it's from season 2, episode 2, Better Than Life. It's just the thought of how they do the virtual reality in that way, where they stick the things on the head and then they put massive needles into the brain.
Right at the start, the post arrives, doesn't it? And
and they're going off.
He finds the disc and he's like, "Yes, these are the best thing ever!" And like, it's little things that go into the head, and he can actually experience.
But where he's going as well, he's like, "Oh crap, HM revenue." And Rimmer's like, "Oh, listy. It's like 17,000 pounds." He said, "Oh, that's bad. He said, it's for you." And Rimmer's like, "What?" It's like you don't know these guys. They're gonna catch me. It's like, you fucking 3 million years in deep space. They're not gonna come get you now. But it was just like when they're on the beach as well. Like, they think of a nice bike, and the first thing Rimmer thinks of is something like fucking.
It's a shitty old car.
Yeah, it's basically like Trotter's van kind of sort of thing like that.
Oh yeah, it is. It's a
crap little thing. Yeah. So and then, but I love that episode. Like, I just love it because they thought like to do virtual reality. Now they thought about doing it then as well. And where was that? Yeah. Like 88. Like that's how we kind of want virtual reality to be now. When you think about it, we do think to put something in our head and then you actually get transported there, sort of thing. Yeah, but to think of it then, I thought was really good.
It's such a good episode anyway because Rimmer's so like narcissistic.
That's what I mean. He's just so depressing.
He can't actually have anything nice.
He can't get out, and even when they think they get out at the end, they're still in it, and he gets his fingers broken.
Yeah, he smashes out.
Yeah, but yeah, better than life is my one.
Yeah. I'm going to go with my one, and it is. I got going back through my list because Mike chose my favourite. I think it's got to be. It's from series 4. Sorry, series 3, and it is Polymorph.
Oh, Polymorph!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So in this one, no, you can basically tell that the creature in it is based on the alien queen from Alien.
Yeah.
Especially the way the mouth but it's basically this alien or genetically engineered life form made by humans, obviously, because it's meant to be a super soldier. But as Crichton says, it's insane.
It's like, what happened to it? It's insane.
Yeah. So it breaks on board, and this creature has the ability to like basically induce any emotion and then take it from its victim.
And it can morph into anything it wants.
So I think let's start off with this. It's absolutely brilliant piece where it's Lister's gone into the surgical unit and taken out all these surgical instruments and got them all disinfected to make food for the cat.
Well, basically a romantic meal between him and the cat.
Where he's serving drink out of test tubes or tube.
It was lemon sauce and the artificial inseminator. the cow artificial inseminator. The cat's just like, nope, I'm out of it.
Absolutely appalled. And then he puts some. So I think the polymorph turns into one of his kebabs. He just puts some salt on it and sneezes. And then there's that scene where it turns into Lister's underwear. So it's like tightening on him.
Yeah, it starts getting smaller.
Crichton's on Lister's just wearing a bathrobe, and Crichton's on the floor, and Rimmer walks in. He looks like he's something.
You'll boink anything, won't you?
Yeah. It turns into a giant monster, and then it steals Lister's fee, and then Lister's.
He becomes like a proper solid hard Scouse, doesn't he? Like the Scouse accent on him proper. Like, I think it's a bit more of a dramatic when he goes into that. Like, I know he's Scouse anyway, but like it goes a bit more dramatic.
Yeah. Go on.
What was it then? Then it appears as a beautiful woman, and then it takes Cat's vanity. He just becomes like a. No, he just becomes like a derelict. He looked more like the Rimmer character from Back to Reality. He's just drunk saying, "Oh, I don't know nobody." Then it takes Crichton's guilt. So Crichton's basically just trying to feed them all to the monster. He's about to betray them at any point. And then the best one was when the creature turns into Rimmer's mum. So it's on the medical bed with Lister.
Alphabet spaghetti.
Things you can do with alphabet spaghetti. Just that look. That was the best thing about Chris Barry. The looks he could pull.
Oh yeah.
And just that bit where he goes alphabet spaghetti, then the sucker goes on his head. It's just frozen in time. Actually, I'm going to put as the episode cover. I was going to put a picture of Ace Rimmer, but I think I'm going to change that and put it to the picture of Rimmer getting the face he pulls when he gets suckered.
Yeah.
I think what the funniest thing about that episode was is the series always had lots of like acronyms in it, didn't it? If you remember. But this one had the best one because Rimmer became like a bit of a hippie. And he had probably one of the best lines ever in the show. Let me just get it up. So I want to make sure I give it justice. So he decides that they want to call their group the Committee for the Liberation and Integration of Terrifying Organisms and their Rehabilitation in Society. Unfortunately, the acronym for that would be clitoris.
Yep.
I just think the ending's quite funny as well. How they go down to like hunt the monster, and then obviously, Crichton is trying to just basically bait them, feed them to the monster themselves. And all they do is it's right behind them. He opens the door, and where there's two like heat-seeking rockets from earlier, they just duck and it kills the monster instantly.
Well, do you know?
Also, with the
go on.
No, I'm going to say also the end, the tag on the end, where it zooms back out to where the creature escaped from. Said contents 2, and just see them all walking past, and you see Lister twice, and he just looks at the camera and has that like evil grin, and turns into the monster.
I do think the polymorph ones are good though, because like you said, they do.
Yeah.
Because it's how they change the characters as well. Like they do make it like. The second one where the polymorph turns Rimmer into Ace Rimmer.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that
the
one.
Emo Hawk.
Yeah,
Emo Hawk polymorph.
But it turns him into Ace Rimmer, doesn't it?
Would you know the beginning of that episode where they go to see the Gelf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the Gelfs played by Ainsley Harriott.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And they even did an episode later on of Can't Cook, Won't Cook, but it was actually called Can't Smeg, Won't Smeg. It was just like a full episode of the Red Dwarf crew on Can't Cook, Won't Cook. I've got a link for it.
If they didn't have to make chicken vindaloo, I will be most upset.
I shall send you the link. But watch it later because it's a full 30-minute episode.
Well, I'll tell you what I've got here. I've got now from the series. I don't know if any of you remember this, but you got the Space Corps directives.
Yes.
Oh, freaking! Crichton's always
correcting Rimmer.
Like, hey, of course we know about the Space Corps directives.
I'm just going to get up some of the best ones.
I think the figure one, no man should sniff a thing you after in the gym or something was one of them that made me laugh after a woman's used it or something.
I
love it in one of the new series as well. And he's going, Rimmer goes, Space Corps Directive. He reels out the number. He's like 5, 6, 7, 2, 3. Shut up, Crichton. Like as he finishes, Crichton's like, what?
Okay, so here's some of them here. So got Space Corps Directive 723. Terraformers are expressly forbidden from recreating Swindon.
Makes sense.
Space Corps Directive 997. Work done by an officer's doppelganger in a parallel universe cannot be claimed as overtime.
Yeah, there's loads of them.
No,
we love you, Swindon.
Space Corps Directive 5796. No officer above the rank of mess sergeant is permitted to go into combat with pierced nipples.
Yeah. I don't think you have to worry about Swindon listening to the podcast. They haven't got the internet yet.
Space Corps Directive 34124. No officer with false teeth should attempt oral sex in zero gravity.
Here's one here. Space Corps Directive 7214. To preserve morale during long-haul missions, all male officers above the rank of first technician must, during panto season, be ready to put on a dress and a pair of false breasts.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here we go. Space Corps Directive 43872. Suntans will be worn in off-duty hours only. Here you go. Yeah, this is Space Corps Directive 76239. Extreme caution should be taken on the naturist deck when peeling carrots.
I like that one. That's funny.
Space Corps Directive 196156. Any officer caught sniffing the saddle of the exercise bicycle in the women's gym will be discharged without trial.
See, that's
discharged.
Yeah, so that's just a couple of Space Corps directives, and we have one of the Rimmer directives. This is Rimmer Directive 271. No chance, you metal bastard.
This one, Space Corps Directive 1742. No member of the corps should ever report for active duty in a ginger toupee. It's just like, it's just so random, some of them, though.
Did anybody watch the American pilot?
I've tried so many times and I can't.
Like I said, I got to the bit where he was speaking to the little robot. I forgot what they're called now. The scuttle droids,
Scutters.
Yeah, the scutters. Remember started out, and it's just like, nope, I can't.
Bob and Madge, isn't it?
Yeah, Bob and Madge.
just before we talk about it, the Scutters. Anybody notices them in the Iron Man movies?
Notice the what?
The Scutters are in the Iron Man movies.
No.
Yeah. But is it actually those ones, or are you talking about the ones that help?
Tony, I swear they are based on Scutters.
They probably are based like on the Scutters, but like they're completely different.
How?
Well, they do have 3 fingers, but it's not like, and what, they're about 8 foot tall, ain't they, in the Iron Man movies?
No, I've seen them looking about normal size.
I'm sure these are a lot bigger, those ones that help him.
But they do seem to have their own personalities.
Oh well.
I don't know whether it's just a coincidence, that, to be honest with you. They do look similar, but
it might just be just me.
Not enough to sort of say that they copied it.
But yeah, so I think they did anyway. So the American pilot, I mean, I watched the full pilot and then I watched the second one that they did. Now, I think in the first one, they just went with, they had Crichton in the first one. It's just basically the first episode, but with Crichton in.
Is that actually the one he played in the Crichton? Is that?
Yeah, it's Robert Llewellyn, yeah.
Is it? It just, you can't, it's hard to, because the quality's not the best. It's hard to tell, but it was just bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, so it was Robert Llewellyn who was playing Crichton in the episode. Holly was played by Jane Leaves, who was in Frasier. Now, the actor who played Lister, I've not seen him in anything. The only thing I've seen him in since Red Dwarf was Scary Movie 4, where he played the male lead.
I just don't like how he was so tall. It just didn't suit him playing Lister with him being so tall.
You got a problem with tall people?
Well, yeah, I'm only 5'9".
I'm 5'9". Some people that's tall, Craig.
But yeah, no. Like I said, I just didn't like how he was tall. I didn't like Rimmer. I didn't even get to the cat. I don't even know what the cat looked like in it. The
cat in the original pilot was more I'd say was more of an adaptation of Danny John Jules' one. They went wildly different with the second part. It was played by Terry Fowler from Deep Space Nine, where the cat was more a bit. How would I put this? It was like a cat but with a Klingon attitude. They were quite violent. Hold on, let me just I'll play a quick clip and then I'll.
You slow down. It's okay for you. You have night vision.
Are you scared, Hume?
Scared? Roaming around this ship somewhere, there is an armor-plated genetic mutant who wants to impregnate all of us with his demon seed. Yeah, I got butterflies.
What is the worst that could happen? He'll only kill you. So what? You die, you feel a little embarrassed, you get up, you start again.
You gotta understand something. I'm not like you. I don't have 9 lives.
Okay. You stay here and suck your thumb, and I'll go and rip off its head, spit down its throat, and turn its lower intestines into balloon animals.
Yeah, so that was Terry Fowler playing the cat.
So the cat was a female in this one?
In the second pilot,
yeah.
Yeah, so the second part was more of like little clips more than anything. It wasn't like the whole episode. The biggest problem I had with it, and it's the same problem I have with a lot of American like remakes or sitcoms, is that this one just tried to introduce way too much what's the word? Context. It just puts too much context. So this person is a hologram. Then they're just too busy just explaining everything, and they're not subtle about it. Whereas I think the magic of doing something, especially in a pilot episode, is just being subtle about everything. You're creating context, but you're not being overly, you're being subtle about it. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm just going to give you an example. Hold on, let me just play this. I'll just get it up. Hold on. It's me just introducing clips. So let me get this up. Where is it?
I have an operating IQ of 6,000, the same IQ as 6,000 PE teachers. This is First Officer Munson. He's dead.
But it's not the career setback it used to be.
This Munson is a hologram. He's exactly the same as when he was alive, except since he's a projection, he can't touch anything except himself.
So basically, my sex life is unchanged.
See, that was just like a clip. It's giving context, but it's just so deadpan.
It's too fast.
They were original lines from the first episode, though.
Yeah, they are original lines for the first episode,
not done very well.
That's what I mean. It seems too forced in the way the Americans do it, like compared to that.
Well, do you know the Welsh guy who played the first hologram on Red Dwarf? He'd never done any acting before, and he was really nervous. And so he's like shaking and like stuttering as he's in, but it actually works really well for his character.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known that he never acted before. I thought he was really quite good in it.
Yeah, but it just came across brilliant because he was just really nervous.
I liked it. I thought it was really good portrayal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was saying, but I think that's the problem with American, like when American TV shows try to do a British version of TV show, they just try to copy the human. It just doesn't work. No. I think that's why shows like the American version, the opposite, that worked because it did its own thing.
Yeah.
It took the premise, then just made it all its own. I mean, they did take a couple of jokes from the original show, but it worked
much
that
better
way.
if you write your own jokes for your style of like comedy.
Exactly. So obviously,
because British comedies is so much different to American.
It definitely is.
It just is.
I think it's because ours is so dry. That's why.
Yeah.
It's just like you don't care. It's blunt and to the point. Sometimes it's just
dry, surreal. Quite often.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Look at. You've got Red Dwarf. You've got Spaced. You've got all sorts of stuff. And American humor is so in your face and so silly, sort of thing. Whereas ours is better.
It is.
Sorry,
don't get me wrong. I mean, there's like American comedy shows I absolutely love.
Oh yeah.
Pardon me. Like Community. I think Community is brilliant.
Community's fantastic. Yeah.
Parks and Recreation. I like that. The American Office. I liked.
Yeah, there's quite a lot. It's just when they do their own thing, it works. When they try and copy ours, it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because they don't get it. They try and copy it, but they don't have that understanding of it, if you see what I mean. They just, it's just, no, it doesn't work.
You're trying to use British humour.
It's very stilted and waiting for the laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't think they get where the laugh is supposed to be, if you see what I mean. Do you see what I mean, though?
Yeah, I know what you mean there.
Yeah.
What I was going to say before as well, what I was trying to say about the episode, my favourite episode. Like I said, Better Than Life's my favourite episode, but in the new series that they did, like series 10 and 12, there's 3 episodes that I just absolutely love.
I'm only because one of them is the one with Hitler.
Nope.
No, I thought that was fantastic.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant video, but it's only because of 3 little details. One of them's in M Corp episode, one of them's in Skipper, and then that's in season 12, and then in season 10 it's the last episode, the beginning. In season 10, the last episode, the beginning, what I like is where they're about to explain how they escaped Red Dwarf and survived at the end of season 8. But I think it was Rimmer about to say it, and then I think Lister cuts him off. Yeah. And I just love how they're about to explain it. It cuts you off, and you don't find out how they escaped the virus that's eating the ship. I was like, "Oh, you bastards!"
I don't think they had an idea of where to go from there.
No, they don't.
So they ended up just skipping the series, and then I think they made Back to Earth was supposed to be series 9.
Yeah, and then season 12. I think was it Skipper? Did I say?
Yeah.
Where is it? No, M Corp. Yeah, you got Skipper and M Corp. M Corp. I just love the ending of it because Lister loses all his memories. Crichton has to do his memory up again, and I just love how they recreate the beginning of the very first episode of season 1.
Yeah,
like they're walking down the corridor, Lister's doing the and then Rimmer's in front of him. They're doing the exact same thing, going to repair the the vending machine or whatever it is, and he's got the chart and everything. Puts him on report, and then in Skipper as well. The last episode of season 12 is where obviously Rimmer's bouncing around from reality, and he goes back to the bit where he's got the massive H on his head, bumps into the old captain and Holly as well, where Holly comes back into it. And I love it when little things like that come back into seasons and stuff where you bring people back in. I just thought it was, and what I'd loved about the new seasons as well, like they haven't changed at all. The characters, they're exactly the same, if not even worse in some bits. Like Rimmer's just as annoying as ever. And you just want to, Crichton's just the same. He's like loves Lister, serves on his every need and everything. The cat still says the same. He loves himself. But I love how they've made it so the graphics in it are like they've updated, but they're still just as crap as they were back in the past. Like like when you see the
there's
polymorph.
a scene in the newer series as well where Danny John Jules, who plays the cat, he like jumps off a bar and backflips and lands on his feet. They were going to bring a stuntman in to do that, and he was like, "No, I can do it." Like he was like 50 odd at the time, and he still did it.
I think it's just brilliant, cause even the polymorph, like I say, the polymorph, the one where he gets pregnant, the cat. That made me laugh my head off. That scene where all the polymorphs are coming out of him, and they keep transforming and stuff like that. But when you actually see the polymorph dead on his bed, it just looks as crap as the one from the first episode in season 3, the one what you were seeing with the polymorph, where it's just the big monster looking like the alien queen. And like you said, it's just dead on the bed. It just looks like a big rubbery piece of crap. But yeah, I think it's brilliant. I still love it, and I still haven't finished that movie that they did for season 13. So I still need to watch it. Yeah, Promised Land. I still need to watch that. So
it is actually really good. That the other one, Back to Earth, is crap.
Yeah, I've got that. I only watched it once, and I couldn't get into it. And didn't it have something to do with the Disperse Squid again or something?
Yeah, it was like a sequel to that.
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
That's why. Yeah,
I like the fact that they did that and brought the Disperse Squid because it was the Disperse Squid's part, like mate, because they killed the Disperse Squid.
Was it's mate?
Yeah, it somehow managed to get onto the ship, and it'd been hiding on the ship for like years and years.
I think what I liked about that was Back to Earth, and it was a homage to Blade Runner, and it was there's quite a few homages to it, but it was the bit where the cat was leaving the little origami octopus or squids around.
There's loads of links in it. Like there's the guy who's like, I'm so cold, so cold. There's like there's loads. The whole episode, the whole film is basically an homage to Blade Runner.
Yeah.
They were both big massive fans of it, weren't they? So
didn't the person who played the cat, didn't he go crazy quite a few while ago, where he was running around with a samurai sword in the street at one bit in real life, didn't he? He did something nutty, didn't he?
Did he?
I don't know about running around with a samurai sword. No, he attacked a bin man, I think.
But I'm sure he had a samurai sword.
Yeah, he might have done. I think he chased like two bin men with a samurai sword or some baseball bat or something. Because they wouldn't empty his bin.
Him and when I went Comic-Con in 2016 or 15, I think it was. Can't remember. I think it was 2015. The cat and Crichton were at that Comic-Con.
Yeah, I saw Danny John Jules and Chris Barry at the Manchester MegaCon in July last year, so they were both there. So I saw them quite close as well. Yeah, I think they were at Liverpool Comic Con 2017 as well.
Oh right, okay. Yeah. We went to Liverpool Comic Con like at the weekend.
Was it good?
It was absolutely rammed. It's the first time we've been to the Liverpool one and so on. So to be honest, we just kind of went and kind of had a wander around. Didn't get anything signed or any photos or anything like that. We were just trying to, checking it out for the first time. So we've been in the Manchester one a couple of times, but went to the Liverpool one and it was pretty good. So,
where my sister works, she's near where Craig Charles does his radio show, and apparently, every time she leaves work, he stood outside smoking a fag, just chilling.
Nice.
Well, should we jump to some fun facts?
Yes. I've got one for you.
I don't know any, but
at the during Angels and Demons, or Demons and Angels, I think it was called. There's a scene in it where Starbug's leaving, and it's the model, and you can see a little TARDIS on the ship. On the outside of Red Dwarf. It was because to the production crew, Peter Ragg and Mike Tucker were working on Red Dwarf, and they snuck it in there. That's a cool little fact.
I'll have to look out for that one. Okay, wait, I've got one. I've got one here. So Patrick, I've known this one for years, but it's like number one, the list I've got here. So Patrick Stewart is a big Red Dwarf fan. But when he first saw it, he thought it was like a rip-off of Star Trek. So he was ready to call us like solicitors.
Yeah.
I was hoping until he realised he was laughing so loud that it was how original and different it was.
Yeah, I did read that.
Yeah. Anybody else got one?
When did Star Trek come out?
66.
66, bloody hell.
87 for Next Generation.
So when did the first Star Wars movie come out?
77.
So you'd think, like, I don't know how he'd call his solicitors to think he'd get away with it, because, like, obviously Star Wars has come out and everyone, like, bet loads of people were probably comparing them at first, saying, "Oh, it's probably just a Star Trek." So I don't know why he's thinking that, like, but.
Yeah, I've got another one. Hugh Laurie originally auditioned for the part of Lister.
Did he?
Yes.
I think so.
Hugh Laurie. I don't know if I'd like. I don't know. I love Hugh Laurie. I think he's brilliant.
I just think Lister works well as like a slobby scouser. I just think he works really well.
Oh
well,
yeah.
And the best bit about it as well, he, like in the series, you find out that he was left as a baby underneath a pool table in the Egby Farms.
Yeah.
Rob and Doug went to Liverpool University, and they used to sit in the Egby Farms and they'd write down ideas while they were sat in the Egby Farms.
Nice.
So that's where that sort of like connection came from.
Yeah, my dad used to drink that in there.
Yeah, he was saying earlier. Yeah,
it's like you saying though. Then like you just can't picture Lister without a Scouse accent now. It's like
no, not at all.
It's like the one where you say they used to go condom fishing, and one time I hooked a black rib. A black rib nobbler.
Yeah,
like
hearing that in a
black
Scouse
rib
accent. Nobbler.
Yeah.
You know what?
Hearing that in a Scouse accent can't be any funnier. It can't be funny. Yeah, trying to do that in another thing, you're like you just can't do it.
I've actually used that line as well just to make people laugh before.
Black rib nobbler.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you've used that particular one.
that particular
he went condom fishing.
Down the canal.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, here we go. So the creators Rob Grant and Doug Naylor originally worked on a radio show called Son of Cliche, in which there was a sketch called Dave Holland, Space Cadet, that Chris Barry provided the voices for. This is generally thought to be the main inspiration of what would become Red Dwarf.
Oh, wow. Here's one for you. Do you know in Backwards?
Yeah,
I love that.
No.
Yeah, such a great film. But
I always refer to London as no.
Well, there's a scene where the compere walks in, and it's all reversed, and like. But if you take that scene and you actually reverse it back to normal, as he walks in, he comes in and he says, "I'm addressing the one prat in the country who's bothered to get a hold of this recording, turn it round, and actually work out the rubbish that I'm saying. What a poor, sad life he's got." And there's like another part just during the bar brawl scene. If you reverse that, you can literally hear the Ed By shouting action. They just
nice.
Well, it didn't matter because it was reversed anyway.
Yeah, speaking of Ed By, so Ed By, the director of Red Dwarf's wife, appears in the episode of Red Dwarf titled episode Time Slides as Blaze Falkenberger, but we might know her as Ruby Wax.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, she plays like a news anchor or something, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's in the episode where Lister's rich after the what's it called, the bubble wrap.
Yeah. Was it the tension sheet or something like that?
That's it, the tension sheet. Yeah.
Yeah, that episode's called Time Slides, I think, where the pictures come alive.
Let's take a look.
It was Rimmer's mate who created it when he was in boarding school.
Yeah.
He just painted it red and wrote tension sheet on the front of it.
Oh, that's where we got the classic song, though, that episode.
Yeah.
Now, fun fact, I believe that the young Lister was actually played by Craig Charles's brother.
Oh, right. Well, it is a little fact.
Yeah,
you were going on about Star Trek before, and the fact that he was like trying to say that like he was copying them. Later on, during Star Trek Deep Space Nine, in the Promenade directory, if you go along it, one of the listings, the Jupiter Mining Corporation, as a homage to Red Dwarf. Yeah.
Wow. I've just looked up now. Yeah, I was right. It was Emil Charles. It's his little brother who played young Lister.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
So crypto-fascist.
Because it's crypto-fascist bourgeois crap. As they say in the episode. Hold on. See if we got any more.
I've just found a Photoshop where somebody's put Hugh Laurie's face on Lister.
Really?
Yeah. Oh god, I'll have to send it to you. It's such a bad.
I was about to say, why is that not in the group chat right now?
I'm going to send it right now. There we go.
That is terrifying.
It's quite terrifying, isn't it? His face looks too big.
It really is.
I was going to say, yeah, his eyes, nose, and mouth just look way too big. It looks good, but it's terrifying to look at.
It really doesn't.
Oh, yeah, it's unsettling now. I can't look at it anymore.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, it's a strange one. In the UK, the VHS backwards was the only part of Red Dwarf rated as 15. It was initially thought that was because the polymorph episode contained a warning of how scary it was, but in actuality, it was due to a conversation between Lister and Rimmer about
losing their virginity.
Yeah, in the episode Marooned.
Yeah, it was the only episode. There was the only VHS that was actually marked 15.
Just for that conversation.
Here's one.
The DVDs were marked 15 because of the outtakes.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they were swearing in
the outtakes. So they were marked 15.
Just seen one here. Fact: Alan Rickman auditioned for Rimmer.
Yeah, I've just seen that.
Yeah, Alfred Molina as well.
Yeah.
Here's one. Remember the BBC had a Red Dwarf theme night. The fans were asked to vote for their all-time favorite episode. Can you guess what the episode was?
No.
Blue.
Chris? No. It was Back to Reality.
I was going to say, it's probably Back to Reality.
Okay.
This one I didn't know. Series 1 was filmed in 1986 but didn't air until 1988.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, Red Dwarf is the biggest, longest running sci-fi series apart from Doctor Who, too.
Wow. I don't believe it.
Well, it's Ripley's, believe it or not.
I suppose you're right there. So because it started in 88, it's still going as of 2000. When was the last one out? 2019.
20. Because that's when
2020.
Yeah, that's when the movie come out.
There is talks of them doing another series as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I just think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it would be good. Do you know the original Red Dwarf model? Like the big Red Dwarf model, they blew it up because the episode where it explodes after Lister cocks something up in the science room, and they have to leave on Starbug. They actually blew it up, and it was the only model they had of it.
Do you think that's why Series 6 was set on Starbug?
Well, it was done on purpose.
Oh.
So the Series 6, they did intend for that to happen.
Yeah. Because I was just as we've been talking through the episode,
I quite like the Starbug episodes. To be honest with you, I think it was quite good.
Yeah. I
do.
I like the one where
they're the ones that I knew. If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Where Rimmer gets trapped on Rimmer World for 600 years.
That always leads me to my theory when I used to watch Mr. Tumble with Ezra, because I think that it's basically like Rimmer World. So the fella that Mr. Tumble plays all the characters in it. So he's Mr. Tumble, he's Grandad Tumble, he's Aunt Polly, he's Fisherman Tumble, every Tumble basically. So I think he's actually Maroon. I think Grandad Tumble is the original Mr. Tumble, and he's done what Rimmer's done in Rimmer World and cloned himself, and he's actually gone insane.
Who, Mr. Tumble?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I can see that.
It makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
It really does.
It does, yeah. So basically, Mr. Tumble is, in fact, a Red Dwarf spin-off.
Okay.
And you heard it here first, and that's a fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know they did Christmas special episodes of Red Dwarf, and they were all animated? They were about 2 minutes long, and they were mobile only. You can find them if you go on YouTube. You can find them if you just type in Red Dwarf Christmas specials. But they're so bad. Like they are really bad, and they're like 2 minutes long. And oh god! But they were mobile only as well, and it was like in 2007, phones were crap then, so like they didn't really even load on half the people's phones.
So what I was thinking, what I've been like thinking about Red Dwarf, I've noticed something, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Red Dwarf goes to like different ages. So you think about it this way, you've got the first 2 series, which was everything was like just based on the ship. They barely left Red Dwarf. Everything was all grey. It was more like, I think when I was watching the making of it, they called it said it looked like a submarine.
Yeah.
So you got I call that series. I'd refer to that one as the submarine era. Then when it goes to series 3, they're in the officers' quarters now. So it's all like brighter, it's all posher. Everything looks a lot better. You got crime. So I call that I'd refer to that one as for me, it's my golden age. I think from series 3 to series 5, that's my favourite Red Dwarf era. So all those 3 series, when you had the female Holly, that was my introduction to it, and it was really fun episodes. You had DNA, you had Back to Reality, you had Quarantine with Mr. Flibble. You had all those really, even the bad episodes were good. I mean, I think I was just reminding me then of the episode where they went to the Wax World. Rimmer basically turns all like the good.
Oh yeah, basically commits genocide and kills them all.
Yeah. He basically tries to start a war, doesn't he?
And Gandhi with a gun.
I'd have to say, like, I do prefer Norman Lovett as Holly.
Yeah,
I like the other Holly. I think she was actually really good. It's really funny, but I just think Norman Lovett. That's who I see as Holly.
Oh yeah, I actually saw Norman Lovett doing stand-up at university.
Really?
Yeah, he was brilliant.
Oh wow!
Just insanely funny. It's hard to describe beyond that. He was brilliant.
Do you know why he left Red Dwarf?
Why?
He had an argument with the directors that he was driving to film, and he wanted them to pay for his petrol. And they said no, so we said, "Well, fuck you," then. And they just left the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what it was about?
Yeah, it was all over, like them paying for his petrol.
Yeah, all over petrol money. You'd have thought that.
But he came back, so
yeah, eventually. I mean, to be honest, I think I'll always prefer, the female Holly. I think it's because that was my first Holly. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think because I watched that, because I started watching from series 3 first, and then saw series 1 later on. I've always thought the first 2 series was a bit boring, but
we should mention her name, Hattie Hayridge.
That's it. Sorry, I couldn't remember her name. So I'm sorry, Hattie Hayridge, if you are listening.
That was it.
You were my favorite.
And if not, why not?
Then there was the Starbug era, which was when they were all on Starbucks. That was series 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Then they had the prison, the prison era when they was all in prison. That was series 8.
Yeah.
And then the next ones would be the new era would be the modern era. So from back to Earth all the way to Promised Land. Everybody agree with me there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so anybody want to cover anything else before we wrap this up for this week?
No, I think we've covered enough.
Good enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Got enough.
Quite a long episode, I think.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I'll take it. Well, I'll probably be editing this on the train tomorrow anyway. I'm going to get his nibs. But anyway,
get his nips.
His nibs, Tommy.
Oh, I thought you said nips.
So that I was like, his nips.
His nibs.
Whose nips are you going to get?
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I always call that Tommy. His nibs. But yeah, I'm going to pick him up. I'm also going to be visiting the Lancaster Geek Retreat tomorrow. So
nice.
All right, okay.
I'll give that a check out. See what that one's like.
Cool.
Obviously, we still love Geek Retreat in Warrington, though.
Yes, even though I've not been yet.
You should. Yeah, we'll I think we'll be more than welcome.
Well, she'll have to all go along.
Yes, we will. Okay, then. So that's all for this week. We will catch you on the next episode where we'll be discussing. Actually, I don't know what we're going to discuss in the next episode, so we'll have to have a meeting about that one.
Got that far, have we?
I think I'm going to try and write a quiz for it. I'm off next week, so I'll try and write it before Wednesday or Thursday. And
quiz time.
We'll do a quiz.
Oh, cool.
Amazing. Okay, right. We'll say goodbye for now then. So, everybody, see you soon.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Geeky Dads Strike Back. Same shit, different name.
The Geeky Dads Strike Back is brought to you by Studio Grey School.